Blood, sweat, and tears when building tiny houses and vans, everybody, especially DIY. Really cool news for everybody, or at least it's cool for me, and hopefully you guys will all like it as well. Glacier says hi. She's just up here. Now this video is going to be about all the products that I've been using, or I'm going to be using for the tiny house. Like what goes through your mind when you're kind of getting either a tiny house built or you are or a van built for that matter. All of that stuff is going to be in this video, and we're going to go into like, here are the different options, why we're gonna do this, how we're gonna do it. But before I do that, I realized that it's been over 3 years since I've upgraded my camera equipment. I just use GoPros for vlogging a lot of the time, most of the time because it's small, it's versatile, easy to travel with. The shaky cam is remarkable, right? But when I do like higher quality videos like my tours, in the past I've been using my Sony A6400, which is a crop censored camera. It's a B camera for a lot of people. It's good, but it's not like great. I wanted to upgrade my camera about 6 months ago because I realized it's been a long time since I've upgraded to the Sony. I started this channel with a Canon, so I actually went back to Canon. I'm actually in the Best Buy parking lot right now, and with me right now is my new R5. If you want to know what this cost me, you can look it up, but was not cheap whatsoever. But that's okay. I'm not complaining. I wanted to do all of this. I wanted to kind of bring a better quality, but a lot of people have been complaining about my mics or hearing me. Shotgun mic, no more. I will be using the wireless DJI, you know, mics, I guess. I don't really know. I have truly invested, and hopefully you guys will invest in me, so subscribe to the channel. All right, let's go to a tiny house and I will walk you guys through the entire layout and design of everything I got going on there. All the windows are now officially cut out. And in the process of me getting up into the loft, I definitely cut myself pretty good there. Ouch. But now I learned, and I'm going to tape this off and fix it. So this edge right here is sharp. And I was getting down, and I went to go reach over to grab my drill. When I reached over, I stabbed myself. It was not a tool related cut, but that's a pretty deep cut. It is what it is. That's what you're gonna do. That's what you're gonna get, you know? Blood, sweat, and tears when building tiny houses and vans, everybody, especially DIY. Some product choices, but also some layout of what's going on here. This was actually inspired by Gutted Season 2, which I was a judge on. This is one of those flip around boards. I have pretty much my entire year mapped out for the tiny house. I gotta actually fill all that in, but it'll eventually be, you know, November I need this done, December I need that done, January, so on and so forth, all the way. I have a goal to get this done by June. That's my goal. This is the tiny house right here. This is a 1:1 scale, 1 inch equals 1 foot. And then I have the loft space, and what you guys can't see because I haven't built it yet, but I call it my desk loft because that's going to be elevated, which we're going to get into when I start going into layouts and such. I have over here my to-do list, and then over here is very crucial because it is my entire wire layout or wire diagram or where things are going to be going. So that is why I'm doing this video here, because that wiring is kind of goes hand in hand with the products you're going to be using for cooking apparatuses, which you're going to be using for, if you were going to have a washer dryer in here, where your outlet's going to go. What are you going to run DC power? What are you going to run AC power? Are you going to have a DC AC distribution panel? Are you going to be hooking it up to grid? Are you going to be more off grid like what I am doing? All of those questions kind of have to be answered. I am building this tiny as a very large scale van. I come from the van building world, so I decided to incorporate a lot of the van building techniques and the van building like systems in here. I want to go back home and I want to kind of sit down and talk to you guys more about products, and I'm going to show you guys screenshots and everything. So That's not really going to be while I'm at the shop. I'm going to go home for that, but I am going to talk about a little bit of layout. This is kind of like a bar on this is my passenger side, which is the side that I'm standing on right now. And then this is driver's side. That's the back of the tiny, and that's the front. Loft is the front. Okay. Hopefully you guys can really see that. If not, we're going to go inside and you'll see. Long kitchen here, bar here. It's a seating bar. This is going to be kind of like a couch, which I need to actually draw the rest of that out. Oops. And there's going to be a Murphy bed in the back. Let's go on in. So I pretty much had a general layout before I even obviously built the frame. Why do I say that's obvious? Because I wanted the windows in specific locations. So I had a general understanding of where I wanted everything. I wanted my door, which is where it is on the passenger side. It's not really a mistake, but a lot of people don't really like to have the slope. If you can see, my roof pitch goes from driver's side to passenger side. I also designed it for the passenger side to face south because I'm gonna be completely filling my entire roof with solar panels so I can regenerate the battery system that is going in here. By the way, this is all going through my head when I sat down and I ordered my trailer off of Trailer Made Trailers. These are all things that you should be talking to yourself about when you are either ordering a frame kit off of them or you're kind of planning out your layout. If you're gonna have solar panels, you want them to face south in the northern hemisphere. It's just the angles of the earth and the sun. You'll look that up. I'm not gonna try to explain that. All of these windows, if that is facing south, if that way is south, I already knew that. I already knew I wanted that because of the pitch. I took this idea from when I was a little kid and my dad worked on a project called the Davis Museum. It's in Wellesley, which is just outside of Boston. He used to take me there as a kid. It was designed by like a famous architect. And they had these big like skylights up in the and it was an atrium. So all like the skylights actually, like, it was all natural light that filled this museum, the Davis Museum. They looked like fins at the top. Why are they like fins, Dad? I didn't understand that. Explain to me that the windows on the flat side are north facing. So they're north facing, which means there's no direct sunlight coming into a museum that has museum pieces that over time, if direct sunlight hits certain like paintings or certain museum pieces, then the sunlight can damage that. So the architect specifically designed the skylights to fit or to face directly north, calling them north-facing lights. It's kind of like indirect lighting. It's all natural lighting. There is no direct lighting. That's what I'm calling these. These are my north-facing windows. So all of that, I will not have any direct sunlight coming in, and it won't be like blinding. That light just went up. That's hilarious. The batteries, they only last so long, guys. So that was enough about that, but that's why I have all these massive windows. Now you guys might be asking yourself, well, why are they up so high? Even though I'm gonna be probably putting this in the middle of nowhere, I also like my privacy. I wanted them looking like a downtown loft is really what that is supposed to like be and entail and look like a New York style loft. So up in this corner over here was that little small desk, little loft thingamajiggy. So I'm gonna elevate it not to the height of the loft at the front. So I have enough room to sit up there, and that's gonna be like my little workstation. Very, very small. It's only designed for me to get up there and work. Again, I took that idea from a loft, like Pinterest or Instagram, picture that I saw one day, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I like that. I wasn't going to do this, but I decided to do it last minute, which is a Murphy bed off of this wall. And the reason I wasn't going to do that is because I did not want to have a Murphy bed as my full-time sleeping quarters. I decided to go with a 24-foot trailer. I didn't want to go astronomically big. So I was okay with having an easy operable, I might even use a remote control Murphy bed. The other reason is you want to have a little seating area, a little lounge area. I am doing a little double lounge because that's what's going to be up in the loft, and I'll kind of explain that to you. So this will be like an L-shaped couch back here, and the reason there's a double whammy for having an L-shaped couch, it is also going to house it's going to be housing all of my electrical, but it's not going to take up the entire couch space. Pretty much the kitchen starting right here, and it's going to be linear for the most part, which is all the way up to a ship's ladder, which will go up into the loft. And on this side, the south side, which we've already talked about, we have a double elongated window with a means of egress window, because I knew that was going to be my bedroom. The reason why I elevated this window is because I knew I wanted a bar seating. I believe that window is going to be fixed and this window is going to be operable, or I might reverse that. They're the same size. I ordered one fixed and I ordered one as a slider, so I can pick which one I want to do which. You guys may be thinking to yourself, well, Jared, you were talking about no direct sunlight coming in here. That was important to me. I'm a snob when it comes to lighting and the sun and all that stuff. I also know that whenever I do put this on a piece of property, I know that that is my door, like I already mentioned, and I'm going to have a big old deck. The deck is probably gonna match the size of the tiny house. So this is gonna be, the deck is gonna be a whole different operating system in itself. However, it's gonna be a deck with an awning, and that'll actually block all of that, direct sunlight coming in here. I'll have a screened in porch or whatever it is. I already knew all that. That's why I was okay putting a window there. Underneath the loft is going to be the bathroom. I haven't fully decided on how I'm going to get in, whether it's going to be a bifolding door or a sliding door, but we'll see. It depends on my finishes. But in this bathroom, which is only about 6 feet in depth and 8 feet across, I'm gonna have a shower, a toilet, a vanity sink, washer dryer, and a 98-gallon water tank. This is at least tentatively in my head right now. Shower in that back corner, vanity over here, and then the toilet over here. So probably the door will be right front and center. And then on the loft, which by the way, that window up there that I just cut, and that is the biggest pain in my batoot, that window is the only window that will probably have direct sunlight coming in. And I wanted that intentionally because if you can do north, south, east, west quick enough, north that way, west that way, east that way, I get the morning direct sunlight rising in the east, south, setting in the west. That's how I roll. Well, you want to see sunsets from your loft space, don't you? No, I don't. I'll explain to that why, because of what's going to be in my loft. I would rather see sunsets on the nice, beautiful deck that I build out there. It's all up here, guys, I swear. Actually, what's going up in the loft was originally going to be a flex room, but it is now, I'm thinking, going to be my theater room. Yes, I am putting a freaking theater room in here. I've already looked at really nice projectors. We're probably gonna get a projector up there, a really nice screen, obviously. We're gonna make that into a full-on movie room, theater room, whatever you wanna call it. We're talking, surround sound, the whole 9 yards, because you gotta have a theater room. So now you guys understand the layout. Now let's go talk about some products. If you guys have any questions, you guys can comment below. For the most part, I do try and look at all my comments that are on my vlogs, not so much on my tours, because they're kind of like, eh. With my vlogs, I will try and get back to all of your questions that you have on there. Hopefully we can take this bag of snakes and lay everything out straight. All right, hi everybody. I am home now. It's actually a day later. I figured I would just end the video here and go through some of the methods on what I do product shopping and how I kind of figure everything out. So hopefully that'll help you. I also wanted to try out the new camera. Like I said earlier in this video, I just picked up the Canon R5. Not only that, I also picked up the DJI wireless mics right here. So I figured I would try those out as well. I was just tired of reading all the comments and everything on my channel saying that, Jared, you need to upgrade your camera, or you need to shoot in 4K, which is what the end of this video is being shot on or shot in. I just said, you know what, I'm gonna bite the bullet and I'm gonna try and bring everybody here better quality videos, as well as my hopefully informative information. I am a builder first. I am a creator, an artist, and a builder first. I don't know anything about, videography. I didn't go to school for that. I went to school for architecture, guys. This is what I am. This is what I do. 500 videos, you'd think I'd actually know
a little bit more, and I don't. My backdrop is going to get better with time, but right now my backdrop is messy and it's real life, and that's what you get. So I'm gonna pull up the screen. I'm recording my screen right now, is an isotherm, the webpage for that. So the big things that you really wanna focus on are what you're gonna be using for a refrigerator, your heat and hot water are going to be, and cooling, or heating and cooling, what those are going to be, toilets, and then all the other stuff is kind of finishes. It's good to know at this stage in the game, when you're building either a tiny house or a van, it's good to know what your finishes are going to be, because when you are putting in electrical boxes or when you're running your wiring, you want to know what your wall is going to be, how thick your wall is going to be. So I'm going with an isotherm, and this goes back to needing to know your entire setup. I am going with an isotherm because I am going with a low voltage system that has an inverter in it. A lot of tiny houses out there, if you buy it from a professional or even the ones that are building, DIYers, they predominantly build them to immediately be plugged into grid. Mine will actually be the opposite. Low voltage power first, and then I can plug into grid if needed, or I can run a generator. So this is going to be an off-grid tiny house. There are a lot out there, but for the most part, professionals build it so it can be plugged in. I also wanted an under countertop fridge. I feel that isotherm is one of the best in the game when it comes to under countertop. Now there are really good 110, 120 volt refrigerators that are under counter, which is fine, or under countertop. But I also know that I will be moving this from time to time, and again, isotherm is one of the best in the game with pitches and movement and vibrations. Their compressors are one of the best. I am gonna go with one of the biggest, baddest fridges on the market. This one is awesome. The Cruise 200, I'm going with stainless steel, because I don't think it comes in black. I don't know if I would go with a black, but that really depends on my finish colors and whatnot. I want a fridge and freezer, as you guys can see here. I'm gonna order one of those eventually. I'm in no rush to do it, but I know where it's gonna be in my layout, and I will run the wire to that accordingly. After I look into that, I actually have a spreadsheet that I keep. This is barely started. All of my, pricing, and then I have the company I ordered it from, and then I have maybe notes on the side. Again, I barely started this, but this is an organizational thing for me to kind of keep even keeled while you're going through all this process. Now, I don't have assistants. I don't have a significant other to maybe handle that side of things. I don't the assistant would handle that side of things. I don't have any of that help. As you guys can see here, I've already spent almost $8 grand. I guarantee you I've spent more than that. I haven't added everything up. I already know that because the zip sheathing I haven't put into it yet. You can see right there, I ordered my windows today. That is a massive product that you're gonna spend a lot of money on. You see that I dropped $5,200. My windows actually might even look a little bit like what's on here. So going back to the refrigerator, you may want a 110 volt or 120 volt. You may want a 12 volt. You may, it really depends on your electrical system. Again, this is not an electrical video, although you have to be kind of knowing what your electrical system is going to be before kind of picking all these products. One fun product for me is going to be between these two. This is a diesel cooktop. I think in this video I already mentioned that I'm going with the VanLife Tech radiant floor heating system. Now normally he only builds those for vans, or already makes those for vans. However, he is a very good friend of mine, and he is going to cut me a special floor specifically for the tiny house. It is run off of a diesel tank, so I have to get a separate diesel tank and put that on the tongue, etc. and so forth. Yay. Why not get a diesel oven and stove? This is a convection oven and stove, but it is fueled by diesel. You need to create a flame, and the diesel can create that for you. So very fortunate. I have friends that will send me links and be like, hey, check out this product. And this is one of them, and I didn't know anything about it until somebody just showed it to me, and now I'm sharing everything with you guys. So shout out to Nick from Exploration Vans. He's the one that shared this with me, and I believe he's now a distributor for them, or he's going to be. Now the problem is I have this amazing thing sitting right in my kitchen over here, or my temporary kitchen, which is what I'm in. This is the Brava. This thing is a beast of a machine. I don't even know what to say, because it literally can cook everything I freaking need. It can cook eggs, it can bake a cake, it can make cookies, it can cook a steak and broccoli at the same time. I've showed this product on my channel before. I freaking love this thing. However, it takes up 1800 watts on full tilt. Being power conscious, I need to see if I have enough power to run this thing. Now, obviously I'm going to have plenty of power, but I want to make sure that I'm going to have not just enough power, but enough power to kind of last me a few days if I run out, or not run out, but where I'll be putting this is probably going to be overcast weather. I can only fit so much solar up on that roof, and a lot of you van lifers recharge your batteries through the alternator. I don't have that. I don't have an alternator to recharge it. Will I have a generator as a backup? Yeah, I might. I probably will. Cooking, right? You got to figure out cooking. Toilet is another one. Toilet, are you going to use a compost? Are you going to go with what I went with, which is the dry flush toilet, the Laveo dry flush? I can't tell you what to do. You know what's best for you. I did talk about in other vlogs that I was thinking about going with an incinerator toilet, and I really wanted to go with an incinerator toilet. It makes the most sense. This also goes back to power consumption. In the summertime, using an incinerator toilet, cooking with a Brava, all of these things take up power, right? Well, what about running an air conditioner? I want to make sure that my house, my tiny house, very humid part of the country, which is the Northeast, is comfortable for not only me, but my dog Glacier. I can run my air conditioner throughout the night without that sun coming in and hitting up those panels. Having the proper air conditioning unit is obviously very important. I haven't figured out which one I'm going to go with. Cruise & Comfort does make a 48 volt beast of a air conditioner. I might go with them. I might go with a standard mini split. It actually really depends on, again, this goes back to my power, how I'm going to be doing my power. This, I don't know if I'm going to use them or not, but this is a vinyl ceilings. I was looking at weight helpful products. Vinyl is very weight friendly. When you're building a tiny house, a van, or anything that's mobile, weight is actually a factor. Max capacity is 14,000 pounds. I've got a lot of wood going into this. I've got steel studs. I've got, you know, all the zip sheathing. All of that is weight. My estimate, I'll be right around 10 to 11,000 in weight. But this is just a kind of a finish option. Another finish option I've looked at was Go Board. You can actually paint Go Board just like you would paint drywall. But quickly moving on, this is the dishwasher that I have. It is sitting at my shop right now. You guys can see that it's actually relatively inexpensive. A lot of you may be like, Jared, do you really need a dishwasher? Are you seriously going to be using a dishwasher? Yeah, I want to make my life easy. I don't like washing dishes. Having a countertop dishwasher, which I'll probably tuck away into a cabinet somewhere, having a nice countertop dishwasher, to me, it's a luxury item, but it's cool and it's fancy. I was looking at them. This company hit me up and they were like, hey, if we send you one, you know, do you want to be an affiliate? I'll be an affiliate. Sure, let's do this. I actually haven't even signed up for their affiliate. I just like the look of it. I was like, yeah, 17 by 17 by 18, let's fit this thing in there. We're good to go. Lastly is really Amazon. I have a complete separate folder for all of my tiny house stuff in my Amazon folder. It's another way to keep me organized. Right now, you guys can see that I have a very expensive projector in here. Whether or not I go with the $2,200, you know, projector by Anchor, the Nebula, maybe a little too big for a tiny house. They make them smaller, like they make like Coke can size ones, right? But like I talked about earlier, I am going to be putting a theater room in there. I've upgraded all my camera equipment to 4K and all that other good jazz. So I don't know, maybe I'll do that. We'll see. I think this video has been long enough. I think I've bored everybody long enough. I've got some really cool stuff coming up. Check out a new playlist that is going to be dropping this week. It's already there. It's already on my playlist. It's called Tachi Talks. But now I'm going to be going into kind of tearing other builds apart that are up for sale right now, and that'll give everybody a good understanding on why things cost what they cost. If you are posting a van for sale, then it is public and I am able to look at it and kind of make my own assessments on it, and if I see if it's worth that price that they are offering or not. And that is pretty much what the entire playlist is going to be about, as well as other like tips and tricks that I have for van lifers. How do you guys like the OG hat? How do you guys like that? Is that, man, I miss this hat. It was, but new merch coming later.